Greetings, folks. Today is Thursday, December the 27th in the year 2018. My name is Tom Lineweaver, and this is my commentary, which I call No Compassion Zone. I don't know if you've noticed this, but since Donald Trump has been president, there seems to be a greater lack of compassion in this country than there ever was before. I haven't seen it in the Obama administration. I haven't seen it even in the Bush administration. I haven't seen it at any time in our history as much as I see it now. Donald Trump has turned the United States of America into a no compassion zone. Of course, that's not what they call it. But hatred by any other name is just as bad. They call it patriotism. They call it nationalism. They call it America first. That's what they call it. But it really boils down to hatred. That's what I'm seeing. And that's what I'm going through. I have never, and I have been on SSI since 1990. Never had problems with it. I cooperated with them and they sent me the money. Okay? Never have I had any problems with SSI until this year. And why is that? And I've been on Section 8 since 1994. Never had any problems with it until this year. Why? Now, you might wonder why I'm on government programs that long. Well, what are you supposed to do when you can't find a job? Anyway, and I have had some physical problems down through the years. Not as much as I do now, but, I'm 62 years old and I'm rather in poor health. But that doesn't matter to a lot of people. It certainly doesn't matter to Donald Trump's minions. Now, I've been talking about this for some time. And, really, I don't like to talk about myself. But I do that only because I know I'm not alone. There are many poor people in this country being mistreated. They're getting the shaft legally and in every way. But the Trumpers, the people that support Trump, think that's great. In fact, they are the people that are hating the poor. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's just, we have Donald Trump, who's supposedly pro-military, but still he has not solved the homeless vet problem. Vets are still homeless. Vets are still committing suicide under Trump's no compassion zone. Now, let me tell you what I believe happened. No, let me rephrase that. Let me tell you what I know happened. You see, Joseph Turner is the property manager here at Washington Court Apartments where I live. Now, he has been trying to get rid of me since May, even before there was a rent issue. Now, why? I believe it's because of me complaining about the mold. He hasn't done anything about it. And I finally said to him one day, and it was in May, I said to him, you don't want to fix a damn thing around here. And I'm not the only one that says that. You can come in here and talk to various people that live here. I've talked to them. There's a lot of things he doesn't fix. There's a lot of mold he doesn't clean up. Well, so he didn't like me complaining about the mold, especially that way. Not long after that, I get this thing in the mail. Actually it was posted to my door. That was a notice to quit or notice to vacate. He told me I have until June 30th, I think it was June 30th, to move out or be evicted. Well, I didn't move out, simply because I had no other place to go. And that's another story. I mean, Section 8 rules and regulations just did not allow me to move just anywhere. Well, anyway. So, after June 30th, not long after June 30th, I get this letter in the mail about a hearing at the district magistrate. Well, let me tell you, that was supposed to happen in the middle of June, and I was sick as a dog. I mean, I've been sick a lot in the first half of this year. Anyway, so I basically asked for a continuance because I was really sick, and I got the continuance. But the next time it was scheduled, I was even sicker. So I asked for another continuance, and I wasn't granted it. But the thing of it is, I was so sick, I could not go to that hearing. And so I lost it. I mean, if you don't show up for a hearing, what's a judge supposed to do? And I understand that. Well, anyway. So I couldn't make it. And since I couldn't make it, I had to, eventually, I had to appeal. Now, I did not have to pay any kind of supersedious because there was no rent involved. So even before there was a rent issue, Joseph Turner has been trying to get me out of here, but he couldn't. He had no reason. He absolutely had no reason. Okay? So when I appealed, it went nowhere because they never filed a complaint. And what were they going to complain about? Anyway, they had nothing to complain about, and so they couldn't do it. Well, that's when I believe Joseph Turner schemed in his head that if he doesn't fix anything here, as per Section 8 regulations, they'll stop paying. And when they stop paying, he can eventually go to court and in his complaint talk about rent in arrears. He has no other reason other than me complaining about the mold, which I did everywhere. So I believe he schemed to set up the situation where I was back on my rent. Now keep in mind, Section 8 paid their last payment in July. I didn't know it. They never told me that they stopped payment. And so months later, I think it was in September, he files a complaint. He files, goes to takes me to court again because I'm not paying my rent. But he didn't have a lawyer. I didn't have a lawyer. I told the truth, and the judge at that time dismissed the case. Well, so here, months later, he did it again. Now, in these times that he took me to court for failure to pay rent, he did not give me a 30-day notice to vacate, which is a part of our lease. But that part of our lease, the judge didn't care about. Okay, so anyway, he has a lawyer. This time, the lawyer was twisting everything, and the judge decided he met his burden. So they lied, they twisted, they cheated, and they won. Now, in Trump's no compassion zone, that seems to be okay. Right? And the only reason I'm talking about myself like this is because I know there are more poor people in this nation besides myself that is getting the shaft. And I believe it's time to stop. I think we should find a way to impeach Donald Trump. Of course, Mike Pence might be just as bad. Who knows? But I think it's high time. And the churches. The churches are involved in this. Now, I need $1,401 by tomorrow, or I will not be able to appeal. And I can't think of one church I can go to and ask for it. I've tried. Okay? Not one. Churches do not have compassion. Jesus taught love, but churches don't have it. And I think it's high time if churches would do the right thing, I wouldn't have the problem I have today. And neither would other poor people. So, between government and churches, the churches are part of the no compassion zone. Especially churches in Texas, like what's Joel Osteen's place called? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean, they got these great big churches. Do they have just one bed in that building for a homeless person? No. Well, I don't know. Maybe they do by now. They might have heard complaints. Thomas Road Baptist Church, are they taking care of poor people? That's Jerry Falwell Jr., who supported Donald Trump. So the churches of America are part of the no compassion zone. In fact, they have probably been a no compassion zone before Donald Trump became president, because how else did Donald Trump become president? The people who have no compassion elected him. That is how Donald Trump became president. And so he made this no compassion zone national. Anyway, I'm really going over time here. But I really believe that Donald Trump has made the United States of America a no compassion zone. Does that mean there's no compassion in this country at all? No, I'm not saying that. Just not enough to go around. If only the churches and only the churches of America had compassion, that would be a big start. Until then, poor people are going to keep getting the shaft. Poor people are, I don't know how many of them are, how many homeless people there are. Something said there was 200,000 homeless people. Why? Why? Where are the churches? Obviously, the churches don't believe in the teachings of Christ. If only the churches would wake up and start helping the poor, that would end the no compassion zone. But they are a part of it. And Donald Trump, apparently there are new policies in Section 8. And because of those news policies, I'm soon going to lose Section 8 completely, and it will take years for me to get back on it, if I can at all. I'm sure he's made that very difficult. I've never had these problems. I have never seen problems like this under Obama, under Bush, under Clinton, under the first Bush, or under Reagan, or I don't care how far back you can go. I have never seen problems like this. I have never seen the lack of compassion as I do today under any other president but this one. The man is evil. The man is wicked. He's hateful. And there are a lot of people that support him. The conservative talkers, for example. They support this no compassion zone. Now look at Rush Limbaugh. He's being paid millions of dollars to support Donald Trump's no compassion zone. Same way with Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham and all those conservative talkers. Well, they are succeeding brilliantly. That's my commentary. Thanks for listening.